Hey, how's it going guys? My name is Izzy and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about Battlefield 3. To this day, it is still my favorite Battlefield game. Nothing even comes close to taking BF3's spot from the top of my list. When I go back and I look at my time played in that game, it makes me go, oh damn, did I have a life? What the hell was I thinking? I have a ridiculous amount of time played in it. But for good reason. I loved it, and it was able to get me addicted to Battlefield and to shooters in general, more so than any other game did. You know, I played other games, Call of Duty and Doom and everything else, but BF3 was able to grab onto me, and you know, it just didn't let go. To this day, when I think of my favorite gaming moments, my mind goes right to BF3. Like every time, I think of all the amazing moments and how much fun I had in that game, and just nothing else can rival that. And I think the reason it's my favorite shooter are the maps. I was thinking about it today, and all of my favorite maps come from Battlefield 3. And a lot of people's favorite maps in Battlefield 4 came from Battlefield 3. I mean, the map design in that game was on point, and it introduced some of the greatest maps in shooter games that I've ever played. Think of maps like Operation Metro, Caspian Border, Nashar Canals, Grand Bazaar. All of those are absolute fan favorites, and you'll be hard-pressed to find someone who doesn't like those maps. But this is what I really enjoyed. I loved the Close Quarters DLC for Battlefield 3. Oh my god, did I love those maps. I spent more time playing the 4 maps with that DLC than any other maps ever. I probably have 500 hours logged into Zimba Tower alone. And unfortunately, no other Battlefield game has dedicated any maps or any DLC solely to close quarters, and that crushes my heart a little bit because I'm an infantry player. I like close quarters, I like fast-paced action, and I think that's the reason Battlefield 3 has remained my favorite, because it catered to infantry, it catered to close quarters more than any other Battlefield game. With the release of Battlefield 4 and Hardline and 1, a lot of the maps were really big and there was no emphasis put on close quarters like there was in Battlefield 3. Now I understand that Battlefield is traditionally a game built around large-scale 64-player battles, massive games of rush and conquest, and that's great. I love playing those, they're lots of fun, most people do. But here's the thing. There's no reason why you can't have both, and Battlefield 3 did that perfectly. You had the Close Quarters DLC and Close Quarters maps, but you also had large-scale conquest maps that were really well designed too. It had the perfect mix of both, which kept the audience happy, because you had people like me who would rather go play Close Quarters, and other people who would rather go play huge conquest games, and you were able to do both. But moving on to games like Battlefield 1, where it's like, close quarters? Nope, that's not gonna happen. Now I just know there's gonna be one person watching who goes, well, if you enjoy close quarters, just go play Call of Duty, you faggot. No, I don't want to play Call of Duty. I want to play Battlefield. If I wanted to play Call of Duty, I would go play Call of Duty. I've never understood why people think that if you want to play close quarters, you should go play Call of Duty. The two games are nothing alike. I don't want to play Call of Duty. Just no. Just stupid argument. Okay, but because Battlefield 3 was able to give people both close quarters and large scale battles, I think it remains a lot of people's favorite game. And recently I was thinking, what if they just remastered it? You know, completely did an overhaul in the game, made it look as pretty as Battlefield 1, but left all the mechanics the same, released it again on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and even on PC with improved graphics. I think that would be amazing. I think that would be so damn cool, and I would happily drop 60 bucks in that game in a heartbeat. They could just give us all the DLCs and everything and just mush it into one glorious remastered game. And I know for a fact that people will be willing to buy it. I have talked to so many people that are like, why don't they just redo Battlefield 3? I know the community loved it, but here's the other thing. If you look at the success of Modern Warfare Remastered, you'll know that people are willing to buy remastered games. In fact, Modern Warfare Remastered is the only reason Call of Duty is still alive right now. That alone is saved COD for 2017. So if DICE would remaster Battlefield 3, you just know people would love the hell out of it, because obviously remastered games are very popular. People are willing to pay money to go back and play the older games they loved. Again, I just know there's gonna be someone who goes, why don't you just go play on the old consoles? Well, let me inform you there, person. they suck, okay? The graphics for Battlefield 3 on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 at their prime, they looked pretty good. But now I go back and I try to play, and it looks like I'm playing a pixelated potato. And I don't want to play no pixelated potato. I want to be able to play it with the graphics of today, with the standards of 2017, because graphics now are amazing, and they've come so far in just a few years since BF3 launched. So seeing that game with the graphics of Battlefield 1 would be breathtaking. Oh my gosh, just imagining that has me super excited. But besides the really fun map designs in Battlefield 3, you know, and the catering to close quarters, I think it had a little more skill involved with the game than Battlefield 4, Hardline, or 1. There was little things that you could do that would make you a better player than everyone else. I know people don't really like bunny hopping, but I would bunny hop my ass off, and when I played games today, I still have to, you know, break the habit I built while playing Battlefield 3 of non-stop smashing of the X button to bunny hop everywhere. It was a hard habit to break, and sometimes I'll still do it, and I know people complained about it, but I didn't really have a problem with it. I think little things like that, the little tricks you can learn that make you better than everyone else, should stay in games. I'm not a fan of over-casualization and making everything so simple to do that everyone can do it, and then you take out the skill. I like there to be that skill gap. I like there to be people who are going to be better than everyone else because they practiced, because they worked for it. The whole everyone needs to be on a level playing field and no one can be better than everybody else kind of shit is stupid, and it's ruining games. We don't need any of this SJW kind of crap in games, okay? We don't need that when we're running around with guns trying to murder people. Now, of course, if something is blatantly broken and, you know, people are glitching or cheating, of course that needs to be fixed. Like, naturally, that needs to go away. But I like there to be skill involved with games. Things that make you a better player because you understand how it works. You shouldn't try to simplify a game so much that anyone can just pick it up and immediately be on the same playing field as people who have been playing for the past, you know, 3.5 years. That shouldn't happen. They need to get their ass kicked. They need to suck until they get good. I love that about games. When I sit down and I do horrible because I have no clue what I'm doing, it motivates me to play, it motivates me to get better. And okay, sorry, I went off on a little side rant there about casualization of games, but Battlefield 3, you know, it's one of the reasons I liked it. It didn't cater to noobs, it didn't cater to new people. There was a learning curve, and you had to understand how the game worked to a certain extent. Much more so than Battlefield 1, which is by far the most casual of the Battlefield games. But that's just another reason to remaster BF3. Let people who want to play a little more competitively and to, you know, put a little more time into the game, go back and play a remastered version of Battlefield 3, and then let all the noobs play Battlefield 1. You know, that sounds like it would work out fantastically for me. Not to mention DICE, EA, you know, they'd make lots of money. They love that kind of stuff. It's good for them. It's good for us. I think everybody wins. And I really do think there's enough people out there that would be willing to buy a remastered edition of BF3 that it would make them a good deal of money. It would be a success. Also, there's a lot of people that have never played Battlefield 3. Either they got into gaming long after BF3 had already launched and was left in the dust by newer games, or they just didn't pick it up at its prime, who would definitely buy it now because to them, it would be brand new. So EA, if you're listening, hint, this is a great idea and there's money to be made here. And you know, let's say BF3 Remastered becomes a thing. I would totally be willing to buy a season pass for it. I would be willing to pay for more DLC for Battlefield 3. I would do it in a heartbeat. Like, just shut up and take my money already. You know, honestly, I have no idea if this will ever become a thing, if Battlefield 3 Remastered will ever happen, but it's just been something I've been thinking about over the past couple of days. I can't get it out of my head. It feels like every time I sit down and do something, I start thinking about it, like, how cool would BF3 Remastered be? Yeah, I can't stop thinking about it. So now that I've gotten some of you thinking about it as well, if they did remaster Battlefield 3, would you be interested for it? Would you buy it? Would you be excited for it? Whatever your answer, let me know down in the comments. I always love hearing your guys' feedback. Anyway, that's about it for this video. I just wanted to share my thoughts on this with you and see what you had to say about it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope all of you have had a good day. And until next time, I really hope you don't get squished by a runaway trolley car. Because, you know, that would fucking suck.